Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to another gameplay series. I am Ultra Farmer, and we are on the map Tassi Farms. We have just picked up ourselves a farm on Tassi Farms, and we are just heading up to the store right now because I need to buy a chainsaw. As you can see, I do not have very much money. Basically, I spent every penny that I had to pick up this farm that is pretty tooled up. It has quite a bit of equipment, quite a bit of implements and stuff on it, and a little bit of land. We got actually a good chunk of land. Some of the land, I was looking at it a little bit, is a bit rough. We're gonna have to do some plowing and stuff, and I'm thinking I'm gonna need a chainsaw because I kind of want to clear some trees around our farm to clean up kind of the yard and stuff later on. But we can kind of get to all that when we get back to the farm. But I'm just heading up to the store right now, so like I said, I can pick up a chainsaw, and then we're gonna head back. And I'll give you a little tour of the farm. I'll give you a tour of the equipment and the tractors that we have. We have two tractors. One is basically brand new. It's not a huge tractor. I think it's got 230 horse. And then we've got an old John Deere 7810, which has got about 175 horse. But basically what we're going to do here is the farm that I picked up was actually a pretty big cattle operation at one point. So we have a cow barn, and we've got some pasture that's all fenced off for us, but there's no animals there right now. The previous farmer had to kind of sell off all the cattle, and then basically we got the farm, a couple fields, the pasture field, and what was kind of left with, implements, trailers, and stuff like that in the deal. But it basically left me with no money. I've got 5,000 bucks to my name, and I'm just gonna hop out here. Shut this off. We probably don't need it idling. I'm just going to hop out here. I'm going to run in the store here. I'm going to pick myself up a chainsaw. Then what we'll do is we'll head back up to the farm, and I'll show you guys kind of around. I'll show you guys what we got for tools, what we got for sheds and stuff on this property. It's a pretty good little property. I mean, it's a little rough around the edges. It sat for a bit, so there is kind of some stuff we got to clean up. Like I said, a couple of the fields are in a little rough shape. One of the fields is in rough shape, but we've got equipment, and we got stuff that we can get going with to plow some of the fields and hopefully get some get some crops in the ground. It is July right now, so I'll kind of go through like all my plans and stuff once I pick up a saw here. So I'm gonna go grab a saw real quick, and then I'll come back out and we'll head back up to the farm. Okay, we are back here, and we are 1,000 bucks, less, but we got ourselves a fancy chainsaw here. Good old Husqvarna, can't go wrong with that. But I'm gonna put that away for now. Let's hop back in the truck here. Fire this bad boy up. Let's head up to the farm, and I'll show you guys around, and then we'll go through the settings. I'll go through the settings and stuff that I've got on this gameplay series, and what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna try and revive this once kind of thriving cattle farm. There's not too many people out in this part of the world right now. Tassi Farms, there's not a lot of people out here, but there are a few people that got some farms going on, but not a whole heck of a lot is going on out here. But yeah, we want to try and revitalize this once thriving cattle farm. It was a pretty big cattle operation at one point. I think the guy had about 400 head of cattle, a little better than 400 head of cattle. And that's what we're going to try and do. We're going to try and kind of get back to that point if we can. Now I just got to make sure I don't miss the turn here, because knowing me, I could miss the turn. So I'm just going to hop out of the cab for a second. But not only do we kind of want to get a whole bunch of cattle, I really want to see how far we can take dairy cows. We're going to get some Swiss and some Holsteins. I think that's what they're called. We'll check real quick here. Oh, we'll hop once we get back in here. Nice wheat field to the side there. I think it's wheat. Might be barley. It's kind of hard to tell. But okay, let's pull up here. This is going to be getting into our farm right away here. I'm just going to pull off to the side of the road here, because this field to our right here, this is one of our fields. So let's just go out here and take a look at this field. It's I mean, it's a field, you know. It's about just about 11 acres that we got here. Looks like there was some red beet or something growing on it, but it's pretty withered and it is full of weeds. But you know, nothing that a plow and or a cultivator can't take care of. But this is our field right here, and over to this side, this is actually our pasture field that I was telling you about. This all the way down to the farm is all pasture for the cattle. And like I said, the guy had about 400 head of cattle in there, a little better than 400 head of cattle. So let's head up to our farm here, and let's take a look at everything. I mean, I did have to spend basically all of my money that I've ever saved up in my life on this farm, but I don't think it's that bad of an investment. We got, like I said, we got some good pasture land. We got this field to our right, which is about 11 acres. Um, and right there is a hay loft. We've got a nice little hay loft. And basically, let's go start right there with the tour. So right here we got a hay loft. This will hold 250,000 liters of hay. It is actually completely empty right now. You know what? I'm going to pull this truck in and then we're going to shut this thing off. I'll park it right by this slurry tank that we've got. Actually, we're the only ones here. We'll just park it in the middle of everything. Alright, let's go over here and take a look at everything. So, we've got our hay loft. We got a nice little forage wagon that goes with us. I think that thing will hold 16 cubes, which is not too bad. To your left, you will see a pile of garbage, and to your right, another pile of garbage. This one slightly more heavy and probably hard to clean up. And let's go take a look at this. Okay, I don't know. 1, 2, 3. We're do it together, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll just close that for now. Another pile of garbage. Plenty of those around here, but it's no big deal. So here is our cow barn. I think that one of our first tasks is maybe to get that outhouse out of here, or clean it up at least, maybe. Okay. So here's our cow barn. It looks like this thing will self-water. I do have a water tank down towards that end, but I'm thinking this thing will kind of like is fed with water, and we might not have to worry about that. I'm not 100% sure, but I will get that figured out. Kind of some more garbage here just hanging around. Uh, but we got a pretty decent. Man, there's garbage everywhere. Is that paint? Oh God, we got a pretty decent sized pasture. I'll try and zoom out here. But you can see where that wheat or barley field is there at the end, and we go basically right over to the tree line. I don't know if you can kind of see the fence over there. I guess what I could do is I could just jump into this right now and just show you. Fence line comes all the way down here, right to the edge of the barn, right by this trailer, over to the tree line. So we got a ton of pasture, which is nice because we're basically future proofed with all the cattle that we want to get. And we also got a slurry tank here. Now this won't spread any slurry. We would have to get some sort of attachment if we want to spread this, but this is nice to have just for in the future when we do want to go ahead and start fertilizing some of our fields with this. We got a couple implements here. We got a bale spike, pallet forks. We got some, we got front loader attachments for one of the tractors and a weight. I don't know how heavy this weight is. Doesn't really say. More garbage. Our water tanker. We got another tanker here for milk, which is going to be awesome. We could probably also put water in this, I bet, but mainly the main thing will be milk. We've got a bale trailer back here, which I think will hold 26 bales, 125 centimeter bales, I'm pretty sure. Wouldn't you know? Some more garbage. This is neat. This is a silage fermenter. Now, I was kind of talking to the realtor when I was buying this, and I didn't really know how this would work. I didn't really know if it would be handy. It will only hold 50,000 liters of hay and 50,000 liters of grass. So, and then it'll make up to 100,000 liters of silage. I don't know exactly how long it takes for the fermentation process to happen, but I think it could be pretty handy with our cattle. I don't know. I don't want to feed them straight silage, um, but it could be good for mixing TMR and just storing grass and hay if we need. But pretty neat. Okay, let's go over here. We do have more garbage. Right on. Maybe let's go back over here and check this out because these are some new implements that this guy had. He did get a nice set of cultivators. Apparently, he had got these on a good deal. And that's why he picked them up. And here's a mower. So with his cattle, he obviously cut and baled a lot of his own hay, hence the hay trailer back over there. But this was his mowing unit that he used. I think it's about 7.5 meters wide, which is nice. Got a couple old cars here, which, I mean, this one almost kind of looks like Ricky's car off Trailer Park Boys, but it has both doors, so it's a pretty instant tell that that ain't Ricky's. What do we got over here? We got a little planter. So this will be good. I think this unit plants and fertilizes at the same time, which is pretty nice. We have a garbage can, which, I mean, it's overflowing. So at one point, someone did try to use it, which is great. I really don't know. I really don't know what this is. Yeah. Well, we'll get this garbage and stuff cleaned up. We'll definitely get it cleaned up. We got like a little workstation here if we want to work on the tractors and such and any of the implements. We've got ourselves a plow, 6 meters, I believe. And then in here is some of the hay equipment. Here's the old baler that he had. He said it's old, but it worked really good. Set of teders. Again, a set of rollers, which I think he got this with the cultivators on, kind of a deal, because these look pretty brand new, and he probably wasn't really rolling too many fields, but we got them nonetheless, and a set of windrowers. Wouldn't you know it, another pile of garbage, which is great. Now, I'm just going to run over here. We'll check that barn real quick. Those are where the tractors are in, but I just want to run over and show you guys this other field that we've got. This is a smaller field. It's a little less than half the size of that other one, but yeah, I mean, it's a nice flat field nonetheless, and it's in pretty good shape. It just needs to be plowed. So, we'll plow this field real quick, and we could probably get some grass going in it, which is what I think we're going to do first. I think, since we're right set up to bale, pretty much the first things that I want to do is get some grass going. We got to get some money going because we got to get some cattle. We really got to get cattle, and there's supposed to be an auction in the springtime that I want to go to, and we want to pick up some cattle. So we need money, and real quick here, I'm going to show you. We got a fertilizer spreader here, which is nice. Again, it's kind of old, but it'll work pretty not too bad, I think. And let's open these barn doors and let's check out the tractors. So, like I said, we got an old John Deere 7810 here, which again I think it's about 175 horse, and we got about 30 hours on this one. And then we got this Dutzfar. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I don't know. This one's basically brand new, and I think it's about 230 horse. What else do we got in here? And there is a bale wrapper that's stuck in there. Now, we do need to pick up bale wrap. That's one thing we got to get, and I think it's like 3 grand. It might be almost like 4 grand to get it. So, yeah, we got to make some money. We also got a fuel tank over here, which has no fuel in it. So, the very first thing that we need to do is make money. That's number one kind of modus operandus, is to make some cash. Now, the way that we're going to do that is a couple ways. One, we get these fields planted because we got some seed and fertilizer here. I don't think all those fertilizer pallets are full, but we got some seed and fertilizer here. But we can get some grass growing on these fields, and at least we'll be able to cut and bale, and we could do silage bales, at least to be prepped to sell it in the springtime. Now, another thing that we can do to make money, let's start going through some of the settings here so I can show you how I've decided to set this game up. So we'll start from the top here. We have seasonal growth on. So we're in July right now. We can basically plant grass whenever. Grass can pretty much be done whenever, so it's not that big of a deal. But we do have seasonal growth on. I don't know if we're going to get into some grain and stuff down the road. My main focus is going to be on building a dairy farm. We have no animals. Contracts. So my plan with contracts is I'm only going to allow us to do contracts that we have equipment for. So we can't borrow any items to do the contracts. I'm going to make that one of the just the parts of this series where, we could do cultivating. We have a set of cultivators. Um, we don't have a combine. We don't have headers. We don't have any of this stuff. We can't do this harvesting contract. Rock removal, so on and so forth. Spraying. We don't have a sprayer. Um, Baling. This is square balers. We don't have that, but we could do this round baling contract. So that's kind of going to be what I focus on in the beginning. And honestly, we're probably going to have to go bale this field. It's actually close to here. I'm going to accept this contract right now. And I'm actually going to accept this cultivating contract just because it's actually not too far away. And I just don't want to lose these. That'll be a good source of cash that we can go make. So let's actually hop back into the settings here. This is the production facility for that silage fermenter. Again, you can bred in 50,000 liters of each grass and hay, and it'll produce up to 100,000 liters of silage. It'll be pretty good. I don't know how much we're going to do with this. I think I'd kind of rather just do silage bales, but again, we have it. It was a part of the deal. It's not that too crazy. We have nothing that we can sell. This is just normal. So let's get into the actual settings. So I just have autosave off. It's real time right now. Now the economic difficulty is on easy. We're going to set this to normal. We may set it to hard, but I'm going to set that on normal. I had traffic off just for doing the first intro, but I'm actually going to turn that back on. Seasonal growth, yes. Days per month, just one for now. No fixed visuals, and we have snow on. I have crop destruction on. I have periodic plowing on. I turned off fieldstones and lime. It just, I don't know. I might turn lime on down the road. I kept weeds on, but for now, I'm just going to keep this stuff off. Fieldstones don't really do anything. There's only one implement that you can get to deal with fieldstones. It doesn't really affect anything. I don't know. It just seems kind of like an unnecessary setting to have on. And I'm going to keep lime off, especially since we're going to be doing grass mostly for the cattle. Um, Once the field's plowed and set, like the grass is just going to keep going. So even having this setting, I don't know. That's my rationale. The dirt I have on normal automatic engine start. I always have that off. I like to turn it on. Stop and go. Trailer fill limit. I just keep that off. We'll just let it fill to what it is. Fuel. I'm gonna put the fuel usage on high, and then I have all of these settings turned off. No AI workers are gonna use fuel. None are gonna use seeds, fertilizer, all that stuff. Um, Another setting that I do have on. Let's just hop into this. I do have super strength enabled. It's part of the lumberjack mod. I'm not gonna really use super strength. I might use it if like the tractor got like really stuck in a situation. I'm not gonna go too deep into the role play of like going to get a forklift to get it out. Um, but as for like moving pallets around and stuff like that, I'm still gonna be using the bale spikes. I'll use the pallet forks and stuff that we have, and that's one setting that like I have it just in case something really annoying happens and we got to get ourselves out of a jam. But for the most part, I'm not really going to be using super strength. Now, another setting that I have on, or a mod that I have installed, is called store deliveries. So I've set the store deliveries for here, so that we don't have to go back and forth to the store to get everything. The only reason that I kind of think this is fine is because like really going to the store back and forth just kind of eats up a bunch of time. And anytime I use store deliveries, like if I was to buy something and it came here right now, you get charged a delivery fee. So I think that kind of makes it fair. At least if it's a little bit easier. I guess it's a little bit cheaty, but yeah, whatever. I don't feel like running back and forth to the store. I've done that on different series, and I just don't feel like it. So, plus you get charged a fee. I think that's going to be okay. I think that makes it a little bit fair. Um, what other settings? This bale trailer does have an auto load feature on, which I'm probably going to end up using at some point. I'll see. I might use the bale spike here in between there, but it does have an auto load feature. If we're doing a whole bunch of bales constantly, again, I think I might just use that feature. But I'll go back and forth. Just kind of depends how I'm feeling and everything else. Now, the final kind of thing is I'm not going to allow myself to take any loans. We do not get any loans. We can lease equipment, and I do have a mod on to finance equipment if so need be. Like say we wanted to get this tractor, I can bring this up. Yeah, I don't have enough money for the first payment, but okay. I wonder if there's anything. What's cheap here? Let's go to something that's like really cheap. Yeah, this is cheap. Okay, so say I wanted to finance this. There's all these different options where I could finance it at 6 months, for a year, 2 years. The more you go, the higher interest you have to pay. It tells you the payments and stuff here. I don't really know if I'm gonna use this. Maybe if we get into a jam and we really needed some sort of an implementer tool, but I don't really see it just because everything in this farm, we basically have what we need. Everything kind of above and beyond is just going to be bonus. So I probably won't use that, but maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen down the road. You can't finance animals, so that's really going to be our major purchase. But okay, I'm going to go park this truck and yeah, let's park this truck out front. I never even showed you guys the house. We gotta get into the house here real quick. The old boy we bought this off even left me his dirty laundry sitting out there, which is awesome. So, okay, let's shut this truck off. Let's hop out. Yeah, yeah, we got some long johns, some socks, and a cool hat. You know what? I might end up having to wear that hat. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in the future. All right, let's go in the house here real quick. Maybe I'll drop into this view. So we got some lights here. Yeah, those will turn on. That door doesn't work. Here's my bedroom. Some dirty clothes in the hamper. You know. We got a TV, which I don't really plan on ever watching. We got a bunch of firewood. Um, and no fireplace. Oh no, this is the fireplace right here. Can't open. Okay. Yeah, we got a TV that we're probably never gonna watch, and most important thing in the whole farm, the coffee maker. Yep, it's definitely the most important thing. And what would you know? It's more garbage. Okay, let's shut the lights off. Let's close the door. Those are my going to town boots. And let's go hop in one of the tractors. And I want to. What I want to do is let's get set up in this tractor. Fire it up. Yeah, we really got to make some money. So we got to go do this cultivating contract for sure. So we got a set of cultivators here. Let's just check real quick here. So I make sure. Let's go into our vehicles. Okay, so yeah, our tractor here is 230 horse. That's good. And the John Deere, those are the front loader attached, 175. Okay, not too bad. So I want to grab this weight just to help out. And then let's hook onto these cultivators and we'll open our map and figure out which field we're going to. What does that say up there? Field 2. Oh, I always do that. See, this is what I mean. This is where we just. I don't feel too bad about this because in real life, if I had to get out of the tractor, would that even work? I don't know. Okay, do you think I can pull this off? In real life, if I had to get out of the tractor and kind of wrestle that thing around, it would be a pain, but I could do it. Okay, let's figure out where field 2 is. Pretty sure I know where it is. I'm pretty sure it's down. Yeah, it's down out here, back towards the store. Okay, let's go. So yeah, no loans. We can't take any loans. We can hire AI workers though, which unfortunately we don't have any money. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. But if I can get this cultivating contract done, which obviously we can, we will that'll be about 6 grand, and then we could go bale that field, and then we'll be okay. We'll have an extra, 8 grand or so. Make sure no one's coming. How we doing, folks? Hopefully we don't hold up traffic too bad, but I'll kind of try and do a little bit more. I'll try and do some in-cab stuff. I'll do kind of a mix of both of it. I'm going to try and do roughly maybe 30 to 45 minute episodes. I kind of want to do longer episodes. I don't know what everybody feels about that. If you let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you like longer episodes? Do you kind of rather that 45 minute to an hour, or is it better to have more of the 20 to 30 minute episodes? I don't mind. I don't mind doing what people want. That's for sure. I always just kind of like doing a bit longer episodes. It seems like we can kind of hang out a bit longer. I don't really want to rush through this series. I have no real plans for it other than I just want us to build a really sweet dairy farm. One thing I never really did in FS22 was try and take like dairy farming to the very farthest that I could. I had done a little bit of cattle, but nothing too crazy with like dairy farming and stuff. I don't really know what the best productions are or anything like that. So yeah, I'm kind of excited to do that. Now, let's just do something real quick here. I just want to look. Okay, let's open this. I want to set our steering assist. I always turn that down just a little bit. We'll do 2 headlamps. Maybe should we do 3? Yeah, let's do 3. Why not? Okay. The only other thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to tab back over to this tractor just before we get going here. And I want us to get, while we're cultivating this field, we can't really afford to, I might have screwed up here. We can't really afford to do anything, so maybe what I'll do is I'll just grab this baler. Let me just see if I can... Yeah, it's a good old baler here. But yeah, we're gonna have to buy more like bale netting and stuff like that. We really need money. We really need money. Hopefully a few more contracts come through, which would be nice that we can actually go do. Cultivating contracts would be good. It'd be nice if there was some fertilizing contracts, but I don't know if we're really at that time of the year where there's going to be a bunch of fertilizing contracts. Okay, let's just pull over here. Let's see how big this field is. This obviously looks like it's going to be straw bales, which is nice. Okay. Oh, I really wish we could afford to use a worker. But that's okay. Alright, I think what I'm going to do, we'll hop back over to that other field, and maybe what we'll do is I'm going to be doing some time lapses and stuff like that of doing all these fields. So maybe, let's actually park this, and then we'll hop back over to this tractor, and let's get cultivating. Let's do it. Let's start making some cash. Okay, what I think we're gonna do though is, yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll do a little bit of a time lapse. Again, you can put it down in the comment section if you like the time lapses. If you kind of hate them, let me know either way what you guys think. And also let me know what you guys have been thinking about FS25. What are some of the things that you like about it? What's some of the things you don't like? I'll tell you one thing I do like is this GPS steering is pretty nice. It's not too bad, but I'll tell you what I kind of don't like is, I don't know, sometimes the AI, like workers, like with running the field, sometimes they're a little bit of a pain in the butt. I don't know if that's just me. Again, let me know what you think. Like, maybe I just got the settings or something wrong, but sometimes it seems like they get so jammed out, and I almost miss the kind of style that we had with FS22. But also, although it is good, there's a lot of good to it. Like, I don't want to be a complainer, because there is definitely a lot of good to it. Oh my god, did this not drop down? There we go. There we go. This GPS steering is awesome though. The fact that you can just lock on to this pattern, you can change it, you can do different sets of headlands. You can start with the headlands, you can do the up and downs. I don't know. I really think that's a pretty good W for when you're working fields kind of on your own, because I don't know about you guys, me trying to keep straight lines, just I don't know. Doesn't happen. I don't know. Not a straight line kind of fella. Okay, let's do a little bit of a time lapse here of me cultivating this field, and then we'll go do some baling. Okay, we did it. The first contract is officially complete. You know what? I gotta admit though, like I hate that they don't let you finish the contract. Like I finished the contract, but like look at that strip. That's driving me nuts, you know? I really wish I could just go and finish, like just let me finish the field, right? But first, let's go into our contracts. Let's accept this money because we need it. There we go. We got 10 grand. We got a little bit of room to breathe. Let's go back and let's see. That's square bales. That's square bales. Jeez. Okay. Actually, let's show one thing we never checked. Oh God. There's nothing. You know, in a different gameplay, this for 218 grand is a steal of a deal. Oh my goodness. But okay. Well, let's let this car go by. Okay, well, we're gonna head back up to the farm. We will drop off this set of cultivators. Another thing that I want to buy, I don't know when we'll get to buy it, but I definitely want to buy a pressure washer so we can keep the equipment nice and clean. I would like that, but you know, priorities first. So we'll head back up to the farm, and then I'll get this cultivators kind of squared away. Maybe we'll drop the weight off. Actually, I might just keep the weight on this tractor. I think, let me think here. Let me think. I think that I might hire a worker. Do we have money? We have no money. Goodness. I want to get those fields worked. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait. You know what? Like I'd said before, I'm not gonna rush nothing on this series. I just want to pluck away at it and build ourselves a really sweet cattle farm. Um, that's the plan. And the main thing is we just got to save up some cash. We don't really have anything we need to buy. The only thing that we need to buy are going to be consumables and maybe if something really amazing comes through the stores on a wicked deal, maybe. But we don't. I'm saying this out loud so I hear it, you know what I mean? Not necessarily so you guys hear it, but so I hear it. We don't need another tractor, right? We don't. Even if a good deal comes in the stores, I don't need another one, right? Maybe I'll say it one more time. I don't need another tractor. This tractor pulled these cultivators just fine, and I think that's the implement that we have that like requires the most amount of horsepower. So we do not need, okay, another tractor. Um, but it would be so sweet if we could get one. But we're not gonna get one. The only thing we really need are consumables. Consumables. So let's we'll hook up to this plow because it's July. What I would really like to do is get these fields worked. I'm just gonna pull over to this field. Just kind of get set, but I do want to go bale. I want to go bale. Actually, shut that tractor off. We can't afford to burn any fuel. No fuel whatsoever. Even though I left this tractor running over here, didn't I? Okay. Baby steps. Baby steps. Um, this field really won't take that long to get baled. Shouldn't, at least. I wish we had the Vicon fast bale. That would be the only thing. If it came through stores, that would be pretty awesome. The Vicon fast bale is, oh god, it's so good. But it's 110,000 brand new. Yeah, 110,000. I'll tell you one thing that's pretty nice about this game though is this feature right here. I still have the throttle pushed all the way down. It's gonna stop. It's gonna. Oh, I have to turn on drop bale. Just give me one sec here. Sorry, I just had to like cough there. I didn't want to cough in your guys' ear. But that is a great feature of this game. In FS22, one thing that sucked with baling is unless you had the Vicon fast bale, you couldn't continuously bale with round bales. Like, you had to watch the little percentage meter on the bottom right hand corner where like the speedometer is, and you had to wait, and when it got close to 100 you had to like stop, let the baler kick the bale out, and if you weren't paying attention to that and you were just driving, you would just all of a sudden start driving over the windrow, and you would miss a whole bunch, and then the bale would try and kick out in the middle of your windrow, and then you'd have to like try and move it. Oh, but in this one, like, I still have my finger fully on the throttle, but it automatically stops it, kicks out the bale, and then you're able to keep baling. So I kind of like that. I think that's a pretty good feature. I'm not gonna lie, I do wish Courseplay mod was out and that we could hire AI workers to do baling, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. I still enjoy baling. But Courseplay, of all the mods, I miss Courseplay a lot. But hopefully they come out with it soon. And what was some other things I was thinking about when we were cultivating? So, plans for this series. Yeah, I don't really want to rush anything. I want to just, take our time. I'm going to kind of do some... I want to do, I'll probably do at least one time lapse per episode, just to kind of break it up, but for the most part, we'll do a lot of tasks together, even if they're a bit boring, even if it's me trying to figure some stuff out. We'll do it together, and we'll really build up a good farm. I'm excited because the farm is... Here's what I really like about the farm. We actually have a whole bunch of space. We have a bunch of really level space there. Now, it's full of some trees and stuff, and we might have to do some logging, but we did buy a chainsaw. So we might have to do a little bit of logging to kind of clear it out, but we've got a lot of room for activities, which means we're going to be able to grow the farm and just keep expanding and expanding over the years, which is it's pretty fun. I like that part of it where it's a bit of a grind and there's lots of room to make the farm sweet. Yeah, we'll do no loans. We'll try and make it a little bit more difficult there. I'm gonna keep it on the normal economic difficulty, because I don't even really think that's gonna be that easy. I was kind of looking at some of the prices and stuff, and I don't think that that's gonna be. I think it's still gonna be a bit of a challenge even on the normal setting, but I don't want it on easy, just because why not? What else? We probably got to get a dog at some point. Uh, if you if you've been following me since FS22, if you've been following me since FS22, that's awesome. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate you a lot. And if you have been here since that time, you'll remember we had a dog named Freckles in No Man's Land. Freckles was kind of a character. I don't think we'll ever be able to match Freckles again. He was one of a kind. But yeah, I kind of want to get a dog again. And that being said, I don't know. I just assume that at some point they're going to come out with the No Man's Land map. As of right now, I haven't seen it. But, I'm assuming it'll come out. And once that map comes out, we'll do another gameplay series where we start from complete scratch, like absolutely basically owning nothing. And we'll build up a good farm, hardest economic difficulty, all of it. We'll just do it again. So this will kind of be like a funner one in the in between. But yeah, definitely when that map comes out after this series, I'm thinking that's where we'll head back to No Man's Land, because that's one of my favorite maps. I know they have that map New Frontier out, but it's just not the same. No Man's Land is just iconic to me, anyways. I don't know. What do you guys think about No Man's Land, or what do you think about that New Frontier map? Let me know in the comments if you've played it, or if you're kind of like me and you really like No Man's Land, or maybe you checked out New Frontier and you actually really like it. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think. Also, okay, so if you weren't here in FS22 and you're new to the channel, thank you. If you've watched the episode this far, thank you very much. I appreciate it a lot. I call myself Ultra Farmer because in real life I train and run ultra marathons. It's kind of what I do. Not that that's anything super special, but it takes up a large portion of my life. I run every single day. It's March 3rd right now, on the day of this recording. On February 28th was my 900th day in a row running. So my run streak's at like 903 or something now. But yeah, 900 days in a row. I ran every single day for 900 days. And actually on Friday, I'm actually just kind of recovering from this right now, but I decided for my 900th day, I kind of wanted to do a big run. And I thought, what am I going to do? So I decided to run for 9 hours straight, which was really hard. Okay, let's shut this baler off. Let's get out of here. There we go, another contract dusted. Let's go get our cash real quick here. Boom. All right, nice. Yeah, so I decided to run for 9 hours straight, which really, really kicked my butt. But I wanted to do it, like I got a race coming up in the summer. It's called the Sin 700 miler. So it's a 100-mile race. And in those races, like, you always have to run through the night, right? And the night is like a really hard time for me. It's just so brutal. And so I wanted to kind of simulate that a little bit. So I thought, well, I'll run all through the night. So I ran from 8 p.m. till 5 a.m. And I did 41 miles, which isn't a whole heck of a lot. I mean, that's a lot of miles. I've done more in different races. So I was actually going slow, trying to just take my time. I didn't want to get hurt or do anything dumb. So, don't get me wrong, like 41 miles is it still sucks big time. But yeah, that's what I did for my 900th day. So that's why I call myself Ultra Farmer. I don't know if that's... I'm pretty much ultra terrible at backing up this baler. But yeah, that's why I call myself Ultra Farmer. I run, like I said, I try to run every morning. Although it's just this time of the year, I like to run in the afternoons, and the reason for that is because all winter I ran in the morning and it was freezing cold, and it's finally kind of starting to get like a little bit springtime weather. It's getting a little nicer out, and I kind of ran a few times in the afternoon, and it was nice out, and the sun was shining, and it wasn't dark, and so most mornings I run, but I have snuck in a few afternoon runs to just enjoy a bit of the sunshine. Okay, we've got a little bit of cash, so what I want to do is, it's 8 grand. Okay, we can't spend that much money. We need we'll put 500 liters in there for now. Okay, put 500 liters in there, and I think what I want to do is I want to hook on these bad boys. I just want to have these on because I'm gonna have to get rain wrap and stuff. Let's grab the forks just to have on this. Have this guy set up. Okay, so we're good to go. So we got bales done, and we cultivated. All right, I think for this episode, we're gonna end this episode here. So on the next episode, we will continue with field prep. I'm going to hook onto this seeding unit right now as well, and I'm going to pull it over to that field and kind of get it ready so that we could plant right after we plow. Let's just go like this real quick. And yeah, in the next episode, what we're going to be doing is we got fields to prep. So we're going to end up plowing this field over here in the next episode. We'll get some grass planted. I already got this thing. It looks like they left this thing full of seed and fertilizer for us, which is awesome. But yeah, next episode let's shut this thing off. We'll get this field plowed, and then what we'll probably end up doing is hooking onto the cultivators, because that other field, what did we call that field? Field 13, lucky number 13. So this is 11 and 13. So 13 just needs to get a good cultivator wrapped around it, and it's also got a bunch of fertilizer already down. So once we plant that field, we're gonna be super good to go. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you're new here, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. I always appreciate it if you could like and hit that sub button for me. It helps out a bunch, but don't ever feel like you have to. If you guys have already been here, thank you for sticking around the channel. Thank you for checking out this gameplay series, and yeah, let me know in the comment sections what you think of this map if you've played it, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. All right, guys, take care.